Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Opposition leader Peter Dutton told Liberal Party faithful Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was a child in a man's body in a highly personal attack on Saturday. Mr. Dutton spoke to a federal council meeting of Liberal Party politicians, administrators and members in Sydney in which he painted Mr. Albanese as weak and a leader who told people what they want to hear, not what needs to be said. He's a man with a mind still captured in his university years. He's a child in a man's body, Mr. Dutton said. I think Mr. Albanese is a decent man who cares deeply about his country, but I believe he is completely out of his depth as Prime Minister. The opposition leader has cast the next federal election as defining Australia's future and fate, with voters to decide the nation's path forward on energy. Australians will decide their energy future at the next election, says the opposition leader while slamming the government's reckless renewables policy and spruiking his nuclear pledge. The next election will not only define the next political term, it will define the future and fate of this nation, he said. Voters will have to choose the path they want to take, including the nation's energy future amid soaring power costs, Mr. Dutton said. A choice between Labour's reckless renewables-only policy that will see the energy bills of Australians soar even more, he said, or the Coalition's plan for cheaper, cleaner and consistent energy, which includes our visionary plan to become a nuclear-powered nation and to do the right thing by the environment. It follows the Coalition on Wednesday unveiling plans for 7 nuclear reactors across 5 states on the sites of coal-fired power stations, should it win government. The plan prompted safety concerns in regional areas where the reactors are due to be built, as well as criticism over the Coalition not releasing any costings. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was panned for adhering to unachievable renewable emissions targets, which the opposition said are blowing the budgets of Australians. He's more interested in appeasing the international climate lobby than sticking up for the interests of everyday Australians, Mr. Dutton said. I will be someone who doesn't shirk the hard and necessary decisions which must be made in our national interest in these tough and precarious times. Opposition frontbencher Paul Fletcher dismissed fears the nuclear policy could make metropolitan electorates harder to win at the next election, saying it demonstrated the party's commitment to achieving net zero by 2050. The Coalition faced significant challenges at the 2022 federal election in blue ribbon, inner-city seats from Teal independents, who pledged greater action on climate change. While the reactors would be built in regional locations, Mr. Fletcher said those in inner-city areas would also embrace the idea of nuclear. Under the plan, it would take until 2035 to 2037 at the earliest for the first facility to be built. Assistant Climate Change and Energy Minister Jenny McAllister hit out at the nuclear policy, which she said was expensive and risky. The bill will be met by energy users, the risks will be borne by taxpayers, and the costs will be borne by the communities that miss out on the jobs that will come about as the world moves to net zero, she said.